Report comes just a day after the wife of a former NFL player sent a letter to the judge in the league's concussion settlement. Even though an agreement was reached 2 months ago, nothing has happened. No money, no action, nothing. And here now to talk more about that is the woman who wrote the letter, Amy Lewis, and her husband, former running back Ken Jenkins. We should clarify, too, on the way in here, you guys do not have an outstanding claim, but I know you know several friends and former players who do. Ken, let me start with what we learned today about Phillip Adams, and the crime was horrible. There's no denying that. But I would imagine for you, it's also frightening to hear this report. What was your reaction when you heard how bad his CTE was?
Well, it wasn't surprising at all. This is the problem that we've had with the concussion settlement. One of the problems we've had with the concussion settlement is that CTE is essentially left out. And we know that people don't just automatically wake up one morning with dementia or Alzheimer's. It's a progressive disease. And we think being able to diagnose CTE at the front end, maybe these guys could get some help. And it sounded like he was not able to get help no matter how hard he tried.
Right. Amy, we mentioned the letter.
CTE actually.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that CTE actually manifests in so many ways that don't have clinical diagnoses. As your previous interviewee said, that frontal lobe impact is so difficult to diagnose in a pocket of Alzheimer's or dementia. And I think it's appalling that CTE was not part of the concussion settlement.
Right. And as hard as it has been for you guys to even get where you are now with this settlement, I can imagine how hard it would be with CTE. Amy, you wrote the letter to the judge. We mentioned that men have died since October. And you said to say this is life and death is not hyperbole, especially knowing what we know now. What do you mean by that?
Well, men have literally died. There have been players that have died, and some of them died waiting for their claims to be assessed.
What is the latest on the settlement? You guys have been out front on this issue, and I know you haven't seen any action, or at least not, many networks even, who are covering this. And I'm wondering, Ken, what you think about this? Because when we cover the story, which we have extensively, we've asked you guys to come on, it doesn't seem like we see much coverage anywhere else. Is that, do you think, because these networks have financial connections to the NFL?
It could be, but, we have no visibility in any way, shape, or form. There's been no notice. It's not even on the docket yet. And we submitted the paperwork 2 months ago. And so we now want them to hurry up and get this thing done. They have released what the new rules will be, but we need to see how they're going to actually be implemented in practice.
But, Amy, there's been no progress, right? I mean, you haven't gotten anywhere with the NFL, and a lot of these players who were initially approved for the settlement and then that money was taken back are still not getting any of the money.
That's correct. And they're stalling, I mean, the more they stall, the more money stays in their pocket. It's really important not only to make sure that this gets approved today so that these players can have a shot at getting the help that they need, but that also some of the parts of the agreement are honored going forward. For example, there are new race-neutral norms that are going to be established, and yet there are no players in the room, and there are no black players in the room. Lawyers are not the ones that are going to be establishing this, but we actually feel there are many players that are in the medical field. There are many players for whom this would be something that would be in their wheelhouse, right, and they should be invited to participate at the table.
Ken, you're not experiencing any cognitive problems, but after watching what you saw happen today with the CTE report and as involved as you've been in this concussion settlement, do you worry at all that you may have this at some point, but it just hasn't surfaced yet?
Well, it's 100% a big worry for me, but I live with the health police, and there are things that we try to do to from a health standpoint, from a health maintenance standpoint, that will help keep me alert and aware and cognitively healthy. I don't know that I feel very fortunate because I'm not sure that many of my colleagues have that kind of support or that kind of person hovering over them every single day.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, again, we always appreciate your time. You're kind enough to join us when the issue comes up, and we're more than happy to continue to cover it. So keep us posted. Amy Lewis and former running back Ken Jenkins, great to see you again. Thanks.
Thank you for having us on.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.